You're watching the Adrian Bauer Project. Hello. Many thanks for choosing to click on my thumbnail and to watch my content. Very much appreciated as always. And as always, I'd like to say a big, massive thank you to my new subscribers. As you know on my channel, I don't play the numbers game, don't earn anything from my videos. I just do it for a bit of fun, bit of entertainment, and if you learn something along the way, fantastic. And if you can inform me and tell me something that I didn't know, all the better, because I'm not a Norman know-it-all. So here we are. We have finally gotten to the final reveal of my Monstertrucks of Rock. This has taken quite a bit longer than I thought I was going to do. As you know, if you've watched from the beginning, I'd set out to do 3 models at the same time, and yeah, I did bite off a bit more than I could chew, to be quite frank. If you've seen the previous instalments of Here We Know, little troubles I run up against with this kit. Mainly, it wasn't the paint. I think now I'm resigned to the fact that I had a bad can of varnish. I use Humbrol gloss varnish. Never had any trouble with it before, but never say never. And I used it on the second, after I got all the decals on, so putting the second and third coats on, and I noticed it still wasn't going on how it should be. So the little problems I had with that, I put it down just to a bad can of varnish. It happens, so you make do best what you've got, as David Lee Roth once said. And so I did a little more weathering on the bodywork than I wanted to. I didn't want to do any weathering on the bodywork. I just wanted it looking sort of pristine. But then again, all my models end up being heavily weathered anyway. So enough of the waffle, let's get into it. So I'm going to be using, for the bulk of my explanation here, I'm going to be using the Kiss truck. That's because it's more colourful and there's a lot more decals on it. So first of all, let's have a look at the tractor unit. So there's the tractor unit, and as we said before on this video, it wasn't the kit that we bought these models for, was it? It was the decals. If you're a metalhead like me, you saw the decal, you're like, I want that kit, I want it, don't care what it's like. And the kit, it's not a very good kit at all. I have had a couple of people say the same as what I thought it was, that originally this was a snap together kit. So that's why it's more toy-like than it was. I think I had one chap saying that it was actually another company before Revell had it. So, better knowledge than me on that one. So you see, I learn something new every day. But even as a snap fit kit, there are a lot of worrying parts, especially on the axles when you can't get the wheels on because you push too hard. You're going to snap the axles, and you're still going to have to widen the holes, like I said before. And it's the same on the silver parts. None of the silver parts fitted the holes because it's got a horrible silver coating on that I don't like, and so the holes had to be made bigger. But there we go, that was all explained in a previous video. So as you can see, I've done a little bit of weathering, scuffed the wheels up a bit. I didn't like the brilliant white they were. It's not really picking it up too well on there, but I've done a light brush of rust colour effect on it. It wouldn't be too rusty, but I just wanted it to look like it had some use. And as you can see, the decals on the Kiss one especially, particularly awesome. What I do advise on this is as well, it's like I think I said in the last video, was if you're going to do it, use a decal fixative to make sure that they stick to where to where you want them, especially on the bigger ones, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And be very, very careful handling them as well, because they do tear really easily, as I found. But I think I managed to get them close enough together where you can't tell. But there we go. So I did a little bit of weathering on the grill. It said to paint it black, but you know, like I said before, we're having a new housing estate built at the bottom of our road, and there's lots of them coming past with these silver on. So I've just put some weathering in there. I put a black wash in and a brown wash on top of it. It's not picking it up too well. I think the light's picking the silver up more than that, but gives it a nice little effect when you look at it. The red badge there I painted on. You do get a decal for it, but it doesn't go on. It's raised surface. I think what you'd have to do is sand back all the raised details to put the decal on if you want to use the decal, but I just blob some red paint on it and it looked fine. When it came to the orange lights as well, it tells you to use a clear orange. I didn't have one, so what I used was a little drop of gloss varnish. Then I did have some orange acrylic paint, which I mixed in with it. Voila, you've got yourself a clear orange. So even if you haven't got one, if you've got some varnish, some gloss varnish, and you've got the colour, just put in a little dab of colour, just so you know you've got that colour there that you need. And Bob's your uncle painted over the silver, and you've got clear orange. I did have some red, but so there we go. So they're the decals on the back, and like I say, I did another coating of varnish over the top of that to seal all the work in. So that's the tractor unit. Be very careful not to handle them too much, because the wing mirrors do get knocked off very easily. I've already done that once on one of these kits, and that bit there, the mud flap on the Motorhead one, that snapped off because I caught it, wasn't watching what I was doing, so I've had to clip that back on. So if you're clumsy like me, just be a bit wary. So here we go. Here's the trailer unit. Try not to get the glare. Now, one of the things I did notice is, if like me, this isn't going to worry you at all, but some models out there it might. The black on the decals don't match the black that I used. So, but yeah, it's neither here nor there. They're on, and that's all I care about. And you know, I've got a Kiss tour truck now, so Yahoo sucks. Right, so getting on about the decals, to the Kiss decal especially, the whole of that one there with the band members on is one big decal. So what I would do, soak the decal in your bowl of warm water, wait till it's coming off freely so you're not having to tug at it. Then I'd get about that much of the decal off the backing paper and put it into place onto the lorry, and make sure that part is in place, you know, it's level with the edge of the truck, and then slowly pull the backing paper off, you know, just probably because you've got these little rivets there. I'm not sure if you can see them, rivet lines. I'll probably just do one at a time, you know, just pull it back, sponge it down with a, you know, cotton bud or something. Next one till you get to the end. That way you're going to make sure it's in the right position straight away, because you do not want to be having to push these decals about, especially on these bits with the rivets, because like I said, they do tear easily, and you do need to try and get rid of air bubbles as well. If you use a decal fix, I use a Humbrol decal fix, that does go a long way to getting rid of some of the, well, most of the air on the tractor under there, because it really does suck your decal down onto, you know, the model that you're putting it on. So a bit of time, a bit of patience with the big ones. They are daunting at first. I know I have had someone that said they've got this kit and they've not made it because they got put off about putting the big decals on. Yeah, you're just going to have to take your time. Just take your time. Don't worry about it. And always remember that if your decal starts drying it out, just get your paintbrush, dip it in your warm water, and it wakes it up. You know, that's all you have to remember. So same goes with these ones here aren't as big, but you still need to get them into the position you want them in finally. It'll save you a lot of headache. So as you can see, I went around the edges as well, painting silver. On the top, I've left mine white, did a bit of scuffing on it, not too much. That's the back. There are a lot of decals I left off. They are optional. It's up to you whether you want to put them on. There were some lights that go along the bottom of the trailer and on the tractor unit. The ones on the trailer was just one long decal, and it was driving me up the wall. You sort of got it straight that end, and then it didn't go straight. That so you moved that, and then that moved out of position, and then it's like I say, they tear really easily. Torn. I thought, sod it, I'm not bothering with them. But they are optional anyway. They don't have to go on. As you can see, some little decals on the bottom there, and again on the bottom of here. I'm not sure you're picking it up. I've just done a slight dusting of rust colour on it to give it that warm effect. And the wheels again. So there we go. So just before we go, I'm going to show you the AC/DC one. Now, I think the AC/DC one was the very first one they came out with. They did the AC/DC one, then they did the Motorhead, then they did the Kiss one. Now, I think you can tell decal wise because for the tractor unit on the AC/DC one, you got the AC/DC Rock or Bust logo for the door, and then you got Rock or Bust just there. And when you put it next to that one, it looked very bare. So I raided a spares decals box, and from a previous build that went in the bin because the kit was absolute shite. I kept the decals for the 124 scale Focke-Wulf, and I just fashioned some bits and bobs on here. And it's your kit, you do what you want with it, and I think it's made it a bit more interesting to look at. So same with the Motorhead one. There was more decals for the Motorhead than the AC/DC, but it still looked a little bit. So I did a couple more bits and bobs, using imagination. So that's that one there, all done and dusted. And that's that then. So next up, the little video I've got to show you all three together, some photos, a little bit of video and whatever. So there we go, finally did it at long last. So I can go and recharge my modelling batteries now. I'm not sure which model I'm going to do next. I know I've got my HMS Warspite half built because I got bored with that because it's not a very inspiring kit at all. I really need to kick myself up the backside and get that one finished, so I might do that next. But I know my next modelling adventure I'm going to be doing the Motorhead Heinkel 111 Bomber, and there's going to be a little bit of scratch building on that as well. So there we go. So hope you tune in for that one. Like I say, here's my little video, my final build. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and to ring the little notification bell.